So welcome everyone to yoga this morning. We've been reading David White's book, Consolations, and in it he talks about the human being as being a live geography, a living geography, and that we're made up not only of all the different parts of our bodies, but we're also made up of our memories, of our history, of the time and place in which we were born, in where we've come from, where we're going, and all the intersections that we have with the world and the people around us. That all of those things constitute the geography of who we are. And that when we become skillful at living, we find that the intersections between our geography and the outer geography of the world and of life, we find that it becomes more easeful to be in those intersections, in those places where we connect and we cross and we have interrelationship. And I was thinking about that this morning as I was sitting for meditation and just reminiscing on things that happened yesterday that kind of threw me for a loop and unsettled me, and how much energy I was giving to those things, and it was making those things very uneaseful. And that I could actually just shift a tiny little bit and give a little bit less weight to what was happening, and it was something that I could give less weight to, and that then the intersection between me and those things became more easeful. So I wanted to invite you to consider that as an option for yourself today, for whatever it is that's going on. Whatever, if it's your birthday or something else is happening for you, to consider the way in which your geography, the way you're made up and all the different pieces and parts of you, how it intersects with the outer geography. And he even talks about the geology, kind of like the history and the bones of who we are, our childhood, the things that have happened to us. All the things that have impacted us become like our geology, our bedrock, our foundation. And so to take where we are today and to move as skillfully as we can, understanding who and what we are, who and what the world is, and where those intersections are, and to make them as easeful and skillful as possible. So this is what he writes. He says, "The human body constitutes a live geography, as does the spirit and the identity that abides within it. To live one's genius is to dwell easily at the crossing points, where all the elements of our life and our inheritance join and make a meeting." The word yoga means to unite, to yoke, to bring together, to meet. So let's meet today, doing our yoga on our mats, meet our bodies, meet our breath, and map the easiest way into those intersections of life. So with a steady seat, please close your eyes and turn your awareness inside. Bring attention to your breathing and the way at which it intersects with your body. Fill yourself up from the inside and empty yourself out into the world. Feel the intersection between the top of the inhale and the beginning of the exhale. And as Rumi says, meet yourself arriving at your own door. Greet yourself arriving at your own door. And joining your palms together in front of your heart, we'll chant 3 ohms. Please take a deep breath in. Om. bowing your head, honor the living geography that is you. Lifting your head, open your eyes. Right, we're gonna start lying down, but before you lie down, I want to show you what we're going to do, so just watch for a second. This is something I learned from my friend Jackie, who is now living in Michigan, but is in class this morning. So you're gonna take the feet up. This is my left leg. I'm gonna cross it under, and with my right hand, catch the foot, then lower the knee to the floor, pull the knee to the midline, and then place the other foot back down. So that's how we're gonna start. So please come down onto your back. I'm gonna say it, I just wanted you to see it before you lay down. And as you arrive on the earth, just pause for a moment and let your body settle. Feel your back and where you intersect with your mat, with the floor. And make it a little bit more easeful, soften. Reconnect with your breath. And lift both feet up off the floor and cross the left leg behind the right. And with your right hand, catch your left foot. Lower the left knee down to the floor. Hug it into the midline. And then place the right foot back down on the floor. This is a stretch for the whole left side of the body, the left thigh, the left groin. Stretch the left arm overhead and reach. Dividing your body at the core of your pelvis, extend down through your left knee towards whatever is at the foot of your mat, and extend from the core of your pelvis out through your left hand. Then scoop the tailbone, soften the ribcage down towards the earth. Take a full breath in and out. And draw the right knee into the chest, and with the left hand hold the back of your right leg and stretch it as straight as it will go. So it might not go all the way straight, that's fine. And circle the right foot. Circle it 3 times to the right, 3 times to the left. And then point the foot strongly and flex it, pressing up through your heel, stretching the back of the calf. Point it again. Flex it. And one more time, point it and flex it. Bend the right knee, place the foot back down on the floor, and letting go of your left foot with your right hand. Slide the left knee out and cross the left ankle over the right knee. Threading your hands through your legs, hold the back of the right thigh with the hands, or you can hold the front of the shin if the knees are happy for you to do that, and draw the knee gently in. And whatever you feel in your left hip, whatever the geography of your muscles and your bones are this morning, however the landscape is presenting, step into it, meet it, in a way that creates a sense of ease rather than effort and hardship. Take another full breath, meeting yourself. And releasing the hand, step the right foot to the right side of your mat and drop both knees over to the left. Stretch both arms overhead. And with your left hand, hold on to your right wrist. And again, divide your body in half at the pelvis and extend down through your right knee and out through your right arm. Splitting the energy. It's like a crossroads. And you extend down and you extend out. Then use your left ankle and your left leg to encourage the right knee further down towards the floor, but again in an easeful way. And exhale and release. Place both feet on the floor. Resettle yourself onto your mat. And float up both feet. Cross the right leg behind the left. With the left hand, hold the right foot. Lower the right knee down towards the floor. Hug it into the midline so the knee comes straight up from the hip. And then plant the left foot down on the floor. All four corners steady. Right arm overhead. And settle into the breath and the stretch. In Anusara Yoga, which is the style that we practice here at Shree, online or in person, there are universal principles of alignment that we apply to every pose. And the first one is just this sense of softening and opening, of meeting the road and meeting ourselves. We call it open to grace. We open to the big picture, to whatever is showing up today, and to that force that holds, sustains, and supports everything, this whole world, outside and inside. Draw the left knee in, hold the back of the left thigh with the right hand, stretch the left leg as straight as it will go, and circle the foot. And as you circle the foot the other way, keep extending from the core of the pelvis down through your right knee. Point and flex the foot. And then bending the knee. Place the foot back on the floor. Let go with your left hand and bring the right leg in front and cross the right ankle over the left knee. Thread the hands through the right leg and hold the shin or the back of the thigh. And just settle. Settle into the right hip. Use your breath to invite ease and opening. If you think about this idea of opening to grace, the first principle, you open and soften to everything that is manifesting for you, including tight muscles in the right hip. Releasing your hands, place the left foot to the left side of your mat. Drop both knees to the right. Stretch the arms overhead, and then with your left hand, hold your right wrist and extend. Extend out from the core of the pelvis into the landscape of your life today, of your body today. Take another breath. Stretch a little further. And then releasing the hands down by your sides, bring the knees up. And uncrossing, step the feet sit bone width apart. Pull the heels in close to the buttocks. Bend up the forearms. And begin to rock your pelvis. So we're not going to lift the hips up, we're just going to rock them. The back arches, the back flattens, the pelvis scoops. The back arches, you inhale. The back rounds, scoops, exhale. Just a few more times, just rocking the bowl of the pelvis. Getting a little bit of movement into the spine and the pelvic girdle. And the next time you come to the rocked forward position and the low back is arched, feel the four corners of your feet. Ball of the big toe, inner heel, ball of the pinky toe, outer heel. And pressing the elbows and the shoulders down, lift up the hips. Roll a little bit more under your shoulders so you get a little bit more lift through your chest. And then hug the knees into the midline. That's the second principle. So first is open to grace, second is muscle energies. This idea of engaging with life, engaging with the body, engaging with ourselves, hugging in. So keeping that hugging in, perhaps lift up a little bit higher, take one more breath. And then exhale, settle the hips back down to the floor, pull the knees into the chest, gentle rock side to side. And then curl all the way over to your side and come up and set up for down face dog, placing the hands on the mat. Set yourself. Just trying to get a good view of everybody. There we go. Spread the fingers wide. And then again, just settle first into the geography of this landscape, your mat, the floor. And then engage skin to muscle to bone. So firm the muscles of the arms, firm the muscles of the legs. You draw in to a steadiness inside. Shoulder blades firm onto the back, and then lift the knees and the hips. And come up to dog pose with the knees bent. And just get extension through your upper body, through your heart down to your hands and through your heart up through your hips. And keeping that extension, firm the muscles of the legs. Roll the inner thighs back and wide, creating a space in your pelvic girdle. That's the third principle, inner spiral. Then straighten the legs, and scoop the tailbone down towards the heels, towards the floor. That's the outer spiral, the fourth principle. And the last one is just extension again from the heart. Extend yourself down into the intersections of yourself, the world, your family, your pets, your work, your body. Extend into those intersections in a way that is more, perhaps, easeful today. Take a full breath. As you exhale, step or hop your feet forward up to your hands. Put your hands on blocks if they don't reach the floor, or on block alternatives, or on your shins. And then breathing in, come halfway up to a flat back. Firm the muscles of the legs, widen the inner thighs back, then pull the low belly up, the tailbone down towards the heels, and keeping that little bit of lift in the belly, exhale and fold and release the head down towards the earth. Do that 2 more times. Inhale, come halfway up, and exhale, fold and bow in. And one last time, inhale halfway up, exhale and fold, and then inhale, rise all the way, reach up, arms to the sky, and exhale, hands into your heart. Settle the feet strong and steady. Reach the arms up and clasp your right wrist. Holding onto the right wrist, push from your pelvis down into your feet and extend up through your right wrist, through the palm of your right hand. And keeping all of that length, lean to your left. Roll the right shoulder back. It'll tend to want to come forward, but see if you can keep it back. And then bump the hips to the right and go a little further over. Deep side stretch. Pressing down into the feet, inhale yourself back up. Exhale, lower the hands, bring them into your heart. Inhale, sweep the arms to the sky and catch hold of the left wrist. Dividing at the pelvis, root down, rise up and lean to the right. And then bump the hips more to the left so that you go further over to the right, crescenting in. Rooting down, rise all the way back up, breathe in, and exhale, circle the hands down and into the heart. We're going to take a few rounds of sun salutation, Surya Namaskar, so stepping to the top edge of your mat. Inhale, reach the arms to the sky. Exhale, fold forward and down. Inhaling to lengthen. Exhale to bow. Step the right foot back. Place the hands strongly down, face dog. Inhale, come forward, plank pose. Exhale, lower to the floor, either chaturanga or knees, chest and chin. And then a baby cobra pose, down face dog. Step the right foot forward, lunge. Step the left foot forward into the day. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, fold right back down. Inhale, lengthen the spine forward. Exhale, fold in. And step the left foot back, lunge. Down face dog, place the hands. Take a full stretch. Inhale, forward plank pose. Exhale, bend the elbows, lower halfway down. And come forward into your back bend. Good. Downward facing dog. Inhale, step the left foot forward. Exhale, the right foot forward. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to your heart, and one more just like that. A little bit faster. Breathe and reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bow. Right foot back lunge. Down face dog. Plank pose. Lower. Back bend. Down face dog. Right foot forward. Left foot forward. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bow in. Left foot back, lunge. Down face dog. Plank pose. Lower to the floor. Take a back bend. Then we're going to come to dog pose and just pause here. Settle the hands and settle the feet. Settle into the terrain of this pose and explore it. Hug muscles to bones. Bend the knees, roll the inner thighs back and wide. Get a little bit more arch in your back. Then scoop the tailbone, lift the low belly, straighten the legs, descend the heels, and extend out in every direction. Exploring the landscape. Sometimes we get stuck just going on the same path when there is so much landscape to explore. So let's explore here. Lift up the right leg. Bend the right knee. Don't open your hip. Lift your head towards your foot and your foot towards your head. So bring the shoulders forward just a little bit. Not in plank pose, you're still in dog pose. Settle the heart and pull foot and head towards each other. Now slowly pull the right knee towards the outer right elbow. Pull the belly up. And then inhale, lift it back and up, the right leg. Keep the knee bent, lift the head and the foot towards each other. And then slowly, right knee to left elbow, cross your body. And then back up. Last time, lift the foot, lift the head. Bring the knee straight ahead between the hands. And then step the foot forward. So the right foot is forward. Spin down the left heel. And bring the right hand to the inside edge of the foot. So both hands are on the inside edge of the right foot. Let's work the pose a little more deeply. So firm the muscles to the bones. And then roll both inner thighs back behind you and wide. You're going to get a little bit more curve in your lower back. Take the right hand now to the outside edge of the right foot. Left hand to the hip. Scoop the right hip under strongly and roll the left shoulder back, Parshva Konasana. Then extend the arm, left arm, over the ear. Press strong through your bones, out from the core of the pelvis. And then breathe as you hold the pose and explore the geography here. Take one more breath. Stretch the left arm to the ceiling and begin to straighten the right leg to Trikonasana. If the hand needs to go up on the shin, bring it up on the shin. If you have a block, the hand can go on a block. And then extend out in every direction. Extend out into your life. And see if, though you're putting a full effort into doing your pose, you can make it just a little bit more easeful. It's still just as active, just as aligned, but a sense of ease in the way in which you intersect. Take the left hand down, both hands are down, spin the left heel to the ceiling, so you're in a wide Parsvottanasana. Two straight legs, the left heel is lifted, the right foot is flat. Lift the low belly up and spin the inside of your body a little bit more to the right so you level out. Stretch your spine forward, breathe in. Roll the inner left thigh back and wide. And then exhale and fold over your right leg. Again, come halfway up. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale and fold. One more time. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale and fold. Bend the right knee. Place the hands down face dog. Flow through a vinyasa or just pause here as you prefer, or come to child's pose and take a rest. If you're in child's pose, come back up to your dog pose and lift up the left leg, bend the knee. Bringing your shoulders forward just a little bit, curl your head up and back, and hugging the knee into the midline, the left knee, lift the head and the foot towards each other. Breathe in. And as you exhale, take the left knee to the left elbow. Belly strong. Inhale, back up. Head and foot towards each other. Left knee across to the right elbow. Last time, back and up. Foot to head, head to foot. Knee to the center, and then foot forward to a lunge. Spin down the right heel, and take the left hand on the inside edge of the leg. Pausing here for a moment. We map the pose in stages. Stage 1, soften and open. Stage 2, engage the muscles. 3, widen the inner thighs. 4, scoop the outer left hip. Step the left hand back. 5, extend the right arm up over the ear and extend out from the core of your pelvis in every direction. Exploring behind you, in front of you, all around you, this wild, wide landscape of life. If the hand on the floor is too deep, then pop the forearm up onto the thigh. It's always an option. So hold the pose, work the pose in a way that is easeful and steady. And exhale, take the hand down, spin up the right, keep the foot down, straighten the left leg, Trikonasana. Sorry, left arm back up, right arm back up. And find your steadiness here, triangle pose. See if you can, like a star, shining light into the darkness of the things you don't understand in your life. See if you can extend out a little bit more brightly. If you can explore a little bit more deeply. Now take the right hand down to the floor. Spin up the right heel. Wide Parasvottanasana, hands supported as you need, 2 straight legs. Lift up the left side of the belly, the pit of the belly. Scoop the hips under, and then stretch the spine forward. Hug the shoulder blades onto the back, and exhale and fold. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale and fold in. One more breath, lengthen and fold. Then placing your hands, step back, downward facing dog pose. Inhale, come forward plank. Exhale, bend the elbows lower. Curl up, baby cobra pose. Reaching back long through your legs. Press the shoulder blades forward into your heart. And open yourself. Open. Open again. Exhale, back, downward facing dog. And step or hop to the top of your mat. Inhale and rise all the way up, arms to the sky. Exhale, hands to your heart. Settle into your breath. Our next pose is going to be Bakasana, crane pose. You can do it either with blocks under your feet or your feet on the floor. Blocks under the feet give a little bit of extra lift, so if you want, you can do that. Step the feet together and soften and open. So as we approach a pose that for some of us is more difficult, start from that place of openness and softness. Bend the knees forward, shift the hips back, and open the knees wide. Good. Place the hands down on the floor, flat, dog pose width apart. Press the four corners of the hands into the floor. So if this is a pose that you would prefer not to do today, you can come back to dog pose or to Uttanasana. You're standing forward bend. Pull the pit of the belly back and up, and then lift up the knees and squeeze them onto the upper arms. Draw the head, look forward, heart forward, and then begin to shift the weight forward, lifting up the feet. Squeeze the heels up towards the buttocks and keep hugging in to the geography of you. Exhale, release the feet back down. Well done. Straighten the legs, Uttanasana. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, rise all the way up. And exhale, bring your hands into your heart. Same pose again. Bakasana. Feet together. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, bend forward. Place the hands, bend the knees. Claw the fingertips into the floor. The key alignment principle to focus on in this pose is hugging into the midline. It's using that muscle energy to squeeze the knees into the upper arms, to pull everything in and up, drawing into how we are, who we are, all that we are, so that we can hold steady. So squeeze the knees to the upper arms, pull the belly up, squeeze the forearms towards each other, the toes towards each other, and then lifting the feet, one foot or both feet. Push from your heart down into your hands. Straighten the arms any amount more. Feet down, straighten the legs, Uttanasana. Inhale and rise. Reach your arms to the sky. Exhale, hands into your heart. Well done. Sweep the arms up. Bending your right elbow. Bring your hand to your upper back. Left hand to your right elbow. Roll the inner thighs back and wide. Scoop your tailbone down so steady into your lower body and lean to the left. Bump the hips to the right. Roll the right shoulder back and press your head back into your hands. Anchor the inner edges of your feet. Inhale back up, arms up, exhale down. Arms up. Bend the left elbow, and with the right hand catch the elbow. Move the elbow towards the middle of the back of your head, but at the same time pull the left armpit back and into the midline. Steady into your legs, pressing from pelvis and feet. Lean to the right. Roll the left shoulder back. Bump the hips to the left. Press the head back. Deep stretch. Inhale yourself back up and exhale, release. We're going to take a standing thigh stretch. I'll show you from the side. You can always hold on to a wall or a chair, anything you have in your home. One leg goes up. The knees squeeze towards each other, back, heel in, tailbone down. Standing on your left leg, bend up your right. Catch the foot behind. Hug the right knee towards the left knee into the midline, just like you hugged in crane pose, Bakasana. Take the inner thighs back and wide, and then scoop the tailbone down. Pull the pubic bone up towards the navel. Move the knee a little further back. Draw the heel a little closer in. Stretch the left arm straight up. And extend in both directions, down first, and then up. Exhale and release. Land the foot firmly down on the floor. Check your feet. The feet are such magnificent, genius creations. They can go over any kind of terrain. They have so many different bones and ways to move that if you're barefoot, walking over gravel, walking in sand, walking over logs, walking on pavement, your feet adapt. They bend, they move, they shift. So shift into the terrain today of your mat. Let it hold you steady. Left hand to your hip, inner thighs back and wide, tailbone down, bend up the left leg, catch the top of the foot. And when you got the top of the foot, squeeze the knee to the midline, move the knee back in line with the other knee, pull the heel towards the buttock, and then really work the tailbone down, pubic bone up without letting the left knee come forward. Take the right arm straight up. Breathe and hold and stretch. One more breath in and exhale and release. Shake out your legs. Circle the arms to the sky. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale to lengthen your spine. Come halfway up, draw your heart forward. And then exhale, fold and bow in. Step the feet right next to each other, so the big toes are touching. The heels might be a little bit apart. Bend the knees forward, shift the hips back. Hop your forearms up onto your thighs, palm to palm. And squeezing into the midline, arms and legs. Hook your right elbow across your left knee. If it doesn't go all the way across, hook it between the knees. Pull the outer right hip back and into the midline, roll the left shoulder back, and then turn the head to look up and sit a little deeper. And sit a little deeper. And maybe lift up your heels and sit all the way down. And maybe not. If the heels came up and you sat all the way down, come back halfway up. And then untwist, fingertips to the floor, straighten the legs. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold and bow in. Then bend the knees again. And this time twist to the other side. Left elbow over the right knee or the middle of the knees. Palm to palm. Roll the right shoulder back and twist. Hugging in, sitting deep. Draw your heart forward. Lift up the heels if that's available to your knees. Sit all the way down. Keep the twist. Come halfway back up. Inhale, untwist and fold forward. Next inhale, rise all the way up. Arms to the sky. And exhale, hands into your heart. Natarajasana. This pose is named after the Lord of the dance. The idea is that in Indian mythology, the creator danced the universe into existence. And as I think about navigating through the geography of my life, I would love to be able to dance through it with ease and grace. Often doesn't happen. And so we practice. So as we practice the pose, practice it with this intention. to find a way to dance through the rest of your day, whatever the geography of it is, with more ease, maybe a little bit more grace. You can always do this pose holding on to a wall. So standing strong and steady, firm the legs, soften and open to something bigger. Engage skin to muscle to bone, engage into the midline. Inner thighs back and wide, tailbone down and in, and extend down through the legs. Bend the right leg up behind you, catch the top of the foot. And then hug the midline with the two knees. The knee's gonna wanna wing out to the side, hug it in. Extend the left arm forward, join index finger and thumb, and then pull from the hand back into the left shoulder girdle so you're steady, connected into yourself. Then begin to kick the right foot back into the hand and up and lean forward. Just as far forward as you want to go. Hold on to whatever you need to. Kick the foot back and up and square the hips to the front edge of your mat. Take another breath. And exhale, come up and release. The Lord of the dance is you today. Settle into the right leg. If you're holding on to something, switch sides. Turn around. Placing the right hand on the hip, bend up the left leg, and catch the top of the foot. Move the left knee back into the midline. Both thigh bones back, tailbone down strongly. And then extend as though you had a peg leg, your left leg, and you're pressing the left knee out of the pelvis and down. Right arm forward, join index finger and thumb, plug into yourself, and then explore. Lean forward, kick the left foot back. Open to wherever you want to go today, however far your body is willing to explore today. Square the pelvis, square the chest. Kick the left foot up and back a little bit more. Take one more breath. And exhale and release. Let go of the foot. Sweep the arms up, breathe in. Exhale, bend forward and down. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale and fold and step back, downward facing dog pose. Inhale, come forward to plank pose. Lower to the floor. Curl up into cobra pose. And then stay here on your belly. And bend up both legs for Dhanurasana, bow pose. Both legs bend. Now before you reach back and you catch your feet, once you've caught your feet, most likely your knees are going to wing open. So use that second aspect of how to build a pose, muscle energy, and hug the knees in toward the midline. They don't have to come together, but keep them from splaying apart. Keep them remembering all that you are and your way forward in a more easeful fashion. Reach back, catch the tops of the feet, and step the knees closer together right here on the ground. Dig the knees down, lift the groins up, soften them, and then scoop the tailbone down, press the pubic bone down, and lastly, from the core of your pelvis, kick back and up through your legs, and forward and up through your heart. And feel the intersection of belly and mat and breath, pressing into the belly and lifting the pose a little bit more, and then settling it as you exhale. Knees hugging in. One more breath in, and then exhale, release the feet, lower the legs, make a pillow with your hands, rock your hips. We're going to take Dhanurasana one more time. We're going to shift the focus a little bit. Normally when we do the pose, we lift from both ends evenly. The legs go up, the chest goes up, and we're lifting both evenly. Today, try to keep your knees down and just work on lifting your upper body. The knees will probably lift up a little bit, but see if you can push them in the direction of down rather than up. So just explore the geography of the pose a little bit differently today. Step the knees closer together. Bend them up. Reach back and catch your feet. And hug the feet so that they're aligned with your hips. Now dig the knees down into the floor. Then scoop the tailbone. Don't lift up your knees, just pull your feet back, but not up. And lift your chest. And think about pulling from your feet down into your knees, as though you're gonna dig your knees down into the floor again. Externally rotate the upper arms, spread your collarbones, draw your heart forward. One more breath, lift up any amount more, and then exhale and release. Head down, legs down. Bend up the knees, and drop the knees right and left. Gentle, easeful, windshield wipers. Releasing the low back. Stretch the legs out. Down face dog. Place your hands, lift up, and press back. And take a moment to pedal out the feet, to shift out the hips, to move in any way that you need to or want to explore your body today. It's a constantly shifting and changing geography, one that we need to be adaptable to. It changes daily and it changes over the years. With the next exhale, lower the knees down to the floor. And keeping the hips up over the knees, so you're not going to bring the hips back and down. They're going to stay right up over the knees. Walk your hands forward. And lifting the pit of the belly, just soften the upper back down towards the floor. 3 breaths. Armpits lifting, heart softening. Take the left arm, slide it underneath the right, and come down onto the left shoulder, the left side of the head. The right arm is still extended. Pull the outer right hip back. Twist in the upper back. And then switch. Place the left hand, slide the right arm underneath, come down onto the right shoulder, right side of the head. Lift the right side of the body. And breathe. Breathing in, bring yourself back up. And sit all the way back in child's pose. And see if you can find that place of ease. In the Yoga Sutras, which is one of the main texts of yoga, ancient Sanskrit texts, one of the sutras is Sthira Sukham Asanam. Asana, the poses, should be steady and easeful. Not easy, but easeful. So soften into that easefulness that you can find perhaps here in child's pose. And placing the hands on the floor, help yourself up to sit. And step the feet out in front of you, knees bent. Take the right ankle and cross it over the left knee. Fingertips behind you on the floor. I find that in the current geography of my life, I'm doing a lot more sitting. And my hips get really tight, which then tightens my low back. So we'll open up the hips just a little bit. If this feels too intense for you, slide your left leg further out. If you want more stretch, slide the left leg closer in. And as you encounter whatever it is that you find in your hip, soften towards it. Meet it, but not with harshness or frustration. See if you can meet it with generosity and compassion. One more breath. And exhale, release the right leg and cross the left, just switching legs. It's important to keep the left ankle and foot flexed and aligned with the left knee so that the stretch stays in the hip, it doesn't go into the knee. You don't want to torque the knee. Lift the low back in and up. And approach whatever you encounter. Sometimes the landscape ahead seems to be covered with fog, and it's really hard to see the way through. But we take one step and then the next step, and little by little, what we need to see is revealed. Until finally the fog lifts, and we can see the whole panorama. Exhale and release. Join the soles of the feet together, Bakasana. Rolling the inner thighs back and wide, and scooping the tailbone down. Hold the front of the ankles. Drop the tailbone down as you extend up through your spine. Spreading your collarbones. Lean into life today. No matter how much you don't want to. Take one more breath here. And catching underneath your knees, pull the knees together. And drop the knees right or left. We're going to end with an inversion. Here are some choices. So if you have a block, you can put the hips on the block, legs straight up. If you have a handy chair, bed, couch, ottoman, you can lie down with your calves on the chair, or block under the hips and calves on the chair, or block under the hips and legs straight up. Or if you don't have a block or a chair, then you just take the legs up. You can hold them if you need to. So find a way to settle yourself in a gentle inversion. Make sure there's a little curve in your low back, that you're not flattening your back onto the floor and scooping your pelvis. So if you were to lift your head and look at the low belly and the pubic bone, they're pretty level, pretty flat. Pubic bone's not tilting up. Lengthen the sides of the body, soften the shoulders down into the floor. Close your eyes. We've been exploring the landscape, the geography of the body, and the space around us. And now explore the geography of your internal world. Your feelings, your thoughts, what's going on inside of you internally. And see if you can do that with that same intention to be easeful at the intersections. That where you meet yourself, there's not a harshness or a hardness, but you're able to meet with a softness and a grace. to open yourself to the bigger picture, the bird's eye view of the landscape, which gives a perspective to help us see. That perspective helps us release and open. Take a few more breaths here. And then prepare yourself for Shavasana. Just scoot yourself back so you can lie out flat. Remove blocks or anything from underneath your hips. And make yourself comfortable. And just as when we began, as you settle your body onto the floor, notice where your body intersects with the mat, with the earth beneath you. And be easeful and heavy there. Feel your physical body letting go, softening in. And as your physical body softens in, allow every part to integrate, to become one cohesive unit. To yoke and join together not only all the parts of your being, but how you fit into the great whole of this universe. Om Namah Shivaya Gurave Satchidananda Murtaye Nishprapanchaya Shantaya Niralambaya Tejase. Om Namah Shivaya Gurave Satchidananda Murtaye Nishprapanchaya Shantaya Niralambaya Tejase. Om Namah Shivaya Gurave Satchidananda Murtaye Nishprapanchaya Shantaya Niralambaya Tejase. Begin to deepen your breath. Allow deep, long inhalation and slow, smooth exhalation. Noticing where the breath begins, where the breath ends, where you begin, where you end. Begin to move fingers and toes. Bending your knees, curl to your right side and rest there. Using your hands, please bring yourself up to sit. Join your palms in front of your heart. May our day today be filled with the genius of spirit, of exploring the geography that opens up before us, that is within us, and to be easeful in the intersections where we meet one another, where we meet situations, where we meet the world. Let's chant one Om together to close. Take a deep breath in. Om. Namaste.